Hey guys, Apocalypso here, back with another video. In this video I'm talking about which stages I think should be tournament legal. Now I actually did a video of this a while ago. I don't know how long ago, but it was like last year sometime, I think. It was back before Banjo came out. He was announced, but he hadn't come out yet. So we knew what his stage was, but not what its gimmicks were, so that was like the last stage included. So I figured, since some time has passed since then, and my thoughts on some of the stages have changed, thought maybe I should do a redo. So I'm gonna do this in the order that the Smash Wiki has. So it's new stages and then returning stages from the universe order. Yeah, so I'm going to start with the new stages. Battlefield, I mean, that's like the most basic stage, so obviously that should be legal. Big Battlefield, it's too big, too many platforms, it's really easy to camp, so no, should not be tournament legal. Final Destination, well, yeah, obviously it should be legal because it's just a flat platform, so it's fine. New Donk City Hall. Well, this one I think is traveling. I think even with hazards off, it still travels, so I'd say it shouldn't be legal. Great Plateau Tower should not be legal because of the ceiling. With hazards off, the ceiling does not break, so it's a bit unfortunate if that's the case, because I would definitely say that it could be tournament legal outside of that. Garrig Mach Monastery is also a traveling stage. I think it does that even with hazards off, so no, it should not be legal. Moray Towers is a bit too big, also has a weird slant, so yeah, it definitely should not be legal. Spring Stadium, that's an interesting case because I don't actually know what the hazards off version is like. If it doesn't have these platforms that come out, and if the ceiling, you can't bounce off the ceiling, then I would say it'd be tournament legal, but I think the ceiling that you bounce off is still there in, you know, hazards off, so I would say that it should not be tournament legal for that very reason. Alright, so Dracula's Castle, it should not be legal because it's a little too big. Also has that weird staircase, kind of a very odd platform layout. Mementos, I originally thought it should be legal, but I think it's a bit too big, and these platforms here are kind of strange. They have kind of a strange layout, so I think it shouldn't be legal. Now, Yggdrasil's Altar. Go up. Okay. It's not looking right for some reason. There we go. Yggdrasil's Altar is basically just a flat platform. The background is a little distracting, but I think in general it's not too much of an issue. You kind of get used to it. And also, Final Destination in previous games was a lot more distracting, almost blinding, and it was always legal. So if background distractions are not an issue with Final Destination, why should it be with Yggdrasil's Altar? But again, it might be a little too big, even though it doesn't have any additional platforms all the time, so maybe it might be legal, maybe not. It's hard to say. Spiral Mountain is actually my favorite of the DLC stages. Hold on, it's not working. There we go. Uh, its gimmick is that kind of rotates all the time, rotates constantly. But that gimmick is pretty strange. It doesn't work well for a stage, for tournaments. So I think it's definitely should be banned, as it is. King of Fighters Stadium completely changes how stages function because it has walls on either side that you can bounce off, and instead of just KOing your opponent into the side blast zones, you have to actually cause them to break through the wall, and that's a little strange, and I think it definitely is banned for that reason. Okay, so that's it for the new and DLC stages. So going on to the returning stages, there is 96 of them. It's quite a lot. So Peach's Castle 64 banned. These triangle things are very, very intrusive, as well as it has a very strange platform layout in general. So yeah, it should be banned. Mushroom Kingdom 64, it should be banned. Very strange platform layout, and has a pit in the center. And it also has walk-offs, which is a bit unfortunate. Also has Caves of Life, which that's not good for a stage. Princess Peach's Castle, not to be confused with Peach's Castle, definitely should be banned. Its layout is a bit strange. It has a wall, and now a platform with another wall, and it's just it's very strange. It should be banned. Rainbow Cruise. Now with hazards off, it actually doesn't travel, so it's fine in that sense. But the thing is, the layout is still very odd, and I'm thinking it's probably banned. Mushroom Kingdom 2 is banned, obviously, because it has these pits here that are very easy to fall into, and I think the bottom blast zone is also pretty close to the stage, so it's very easy to die. And here we have walk-offs, which, well, that obviously spells doom for the stage's tournament status. Delfino Plaza, I'm not entirely sure how it is in with hazards off, but I think it still has walk-offs, and they're more than just like a few seconds, so I think it probably is banned. And also there's sharking, which I'm not sure why that's considered an issue, but it is, so it would be banned there. Luigi's Mansion, hold up, Luigi's Mansion is very strange. It's definitely banned. It has multiple ceilings, which leads to Caves of Life, and it also is pretty big and promotes circle camping, so yeah, definitely should be banned. Mushroom Kingdom, I mean, it travels. What else do I have to say? I mean, it travels, so it's obviously a bad stage for tournaments. You don't want to fight the stage, you want to fight your opponent. That's part of the game. You don't want to fight a stage. Rainbow Cruise doesn't travel with hazards off, but I think Mushroom Kingdom still does, so it definitely should be banned. Figure 8 Circuit, sorry, I don't know why there's no image there, but you can sort of see it. It has walk-offs, multiple walk-offs, and it's just very flat, so it definitely should be banned. Mario Brothers, it loops around, so basically if you go from this end, you go to this side here, and yeah, so you can constantly just kind of loop around. Not cooperating here. It's really annoying. Anyway, yeah, you can just sort of loop around and just sort of run away that way, and it's very annoying. And it also has walk-offs, because even if you loop around to the other side, when you walk, if you throw your opponent into the blast zone, they'll still be KO'd, so it's pretty broken. I don't know why so many stages have that gimmick. 3D Land, it travels. Yeah, it travels. That's Golden Plains, too big, very odd gimmick, which I don't know if that's still present, hazards off, but regardless, it's very big, has walk-offs, and travels slightly, so that's a bit of a problem. Paper Mario has a walk-off. Yeah, so that's a bit of a problem. It also has a wall, so that's also a problem. Mushroom Kingdom U. Now, I don't know how to feel about this one because it has a pretty simple stage layout without hazards. But the thing is, it is still very big. So it's a bit of a problem. Maybe it could be good for like doubles or something, but definitely not for singles. Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy has strange gravity, so that definitely would not work. Mario Circuit. I don't think it travels with hazards off, so I'm going to give this one a pass because I think it's fine with hazards off. I'm not sure on that one, but I think it is. I have to check. But it's overall pretty good with hazards off, so I'd say it's a pass. Super Mario Maker is way too unpredictable. You still have dangerous hazards even with hazards off, I think. So that's a definite no. Congo Jungle. Now, this one, the thing is, I think I brought up this same point in my last video like this. It's fine if the hazards off version still had the moving platforms but not the barrel cannon, but the fact is these platforms just stay here on the top the whole time, and then there's this tiny little gap that fighters can fall through, so it would otherwise be fine, but it's not all because of that, so it's banned. Congo Falls. This it's too odd, too small. Also, this rock promotes camping, so it's banned. Jungle Japes. I don't know if the water still drags you and hazards off, but it has these pits that you can fall through, and it's just a little too big, so it's a no. 75M. I'm just gonna skip over that because I think you all know how I feel about that one. Super Happy Tree. It's well, this main platform here is fine, but the problem is that there are these clouds on the sides of the stage that extend out very far, which makes the stage deceptively large, so it's banned. Yoshi's Island in Melee. Hold up, let's pull up the image. So, okay, you can see it has this this slant here, which also is a walk-off, but it's very hard to actually KO. Very hard to actually KO other players, other fighters from this side because they just end up landing on the slope. Also, these things can be destroyed temporarily, and it causes fighters to fall through, especially if you're using like a downward meteor attack, like a down arrow that sends them down like Toon Links. So that's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. But I mean, it was already banned anyway, so it's obviously banned. Yoshi's Story. I think this one should stay. And basically, it's fine. Maybe they can even have with hazards on and have Randall there. So I'd say this one's good. Yoshi's Island. You'll see that. This one I think is fine. It has a perfectly fine platform layout, so I think it should be legal. Hyrule Castle, it's too big. It's just way too big. It has distinct life here. And I think the tornado appears, but the stage itself is just problematic. Great Bay has water, so that's an automatic no. Temple is way too big. You all know the way it is. So Bridge of Eldin, it's a walk-off. What can I say? It's a walk-off. Pirate ship has water, as you can see, and it's. I think if you're here when in the water, you instantly die. So that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, it's banned. Gerudo Valley or Gerudo Valley is, well, this bridge in the center can break, but I think only with hazards on. But either way, it has walk-offs, so it's banned. Spirit Train. Yeah, no, it's not gonna work. You're sent to the side. You can die easily because of the tracks. So I'm gonna say no. Skyloft. I actually think this is fine without hazards on. It's basically just this basic platform layout here, and you can shark, but it's generally not a huge issue. So I'd say it should be legal. Brinstar has a very quirky layout, so I'd say it's hard to adapt to, even with hazards off, so that things don't break. So I'd say it's still very odd. So I'm gonna go with no. Brinstar Depths. Oh goodness, no. goodness, no. Let's just say it's. Trying to get it up. Well, you all know how it is. It's not cooperating. Has this. Yeah, no, it has this continuous floor, no walls to speak of. So yeah, that's a problem. Norfair. I mean, it could work potentially, but it's a little too big and it has a lot of gaps. So let's say I'm undecided. Okay, so Frigate Orphean. Now I actually think this one's unusual because it well, it has a fairly neutral layout, and I think it actually is pretty fine with hazards off. So I'm gonna say this one probably should be legal because I just think it should be. Alright, so Dreamland. The reason this is usually banned in Smash Ultimate is because this is way too similar to Battlefield with hazards off, because Wispy Woods is not actually blowing wind. And I actually didn't understand why this was the case, but apparently it's because stages that are similar to other stages will generally be banned, because it kind of circumvents stage bans to have two incredibly similar stages be legal at the same time. So I'm gonna say this one is banned. And Fountain of Dreams, I'd say would be banned, except it's not like Battlefield because you can't pass under it, so it's a little different. So I'm gonna say this one is legal. Green Greens, I think originally said I wanted this to be legal, but there are these pits in the sides, and it's a little unfortunate. So I'm gonna say this one's banned. Halberd, it's fine with hazards off, and there is sharking, like I said with the other ones, but I think in general it's fine, so I'm gonna say this one is. Now, actually, there is a brief walk-off platform, but it doesn't stay around and it never goes back to it. So I'm gonna say it's legal. Dreamland GB or Game Boy is a traveling stage and has walk-off, so it's banned. The Great Cave Offensive. I'm not even gonna go over that one. Corneria, banned. Very peculiar layout. Venom, banned because of walls and also peculiar layout. Lilac Cruise, I say is banned. Now, I don't think it turns with hazards off, but it still has a lot of glitches associated with it, so it could cause some problems. So I'm gonna say it's banned. Saffron City. Saffron City it has walls and it's too big, and it's pits as well, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Pokemon Stadium, I think is fine. So this one, it's a very neutral layout, has 2 platforms. Overall, very good stage for tournaments, so I'm gonna say it's legal. Pokemon Stadium 2, same thing, except it's bigger, so I'm gonna keep this legal like it already is. Spear, Pillar, it has that cave, which makes it a literal cave of life. So I'm gonna say it's banned. Unova Pokemon League. Now, this one's actually an interesting story because it actually has a pretty neutral layout without all the hazards, and it's I'd say it's actually fine, so I think it should be legal. Prism Tower, same thing. Other than the walk-offs, which appear occasionally, it's actually pretty good. As long as you if you enforce a rule or something where they can't take advantage of the walk-offs, then I think then it'll be fine, because everything else about the stage is fine. Kalos Pokemon League. This one also should be legal. So pretty much all the Pokemon stages except for Saffron City and Spear Pillar should be legal. Big Blue. No, it should not be legal. It's this thing travels. There are platforms constantly changing. Yeah, it's a mess. Port Town Aerodive, similar thing. It travels all the time, so I think it should be banned. Mute City SNES definitely should not be legal, because it's rather similar to Port Town Aerodive, except it's constantly moving. Onet or Onet, I don't know how you say it. That walk-offs, walls, multiple issues. It's an immediate ban. Now, Forside has a similar problem to Saffron City, where it is also like a city, and it has the same kinds of problems where it has walls and very thin pits. And despite being Nessa's home stage, you can't actually recover on it, so it's a bit unfortunate. So I should say you can't recover on it. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, so this is obviously banned. New Pork City, banned, it's too big. Now, for Magicant, I originally said that it was fine, it was legal, but upon learning about some mechanic of the stage, I can no longer agree with that assessment, because these platforms here are called super soft, I think. If you get spiked on them, they you actually pass through the stage, the main platform, and that's obviously a bit of a problem. So I say it should be banned. Summit, I think it should be banned because it's ice and also it's a Cave of Life, so it's a bit unfortunate, but that's the way it is. Castle Siege, I actually think should be legal because it doesn't really change. It doesn't change it at all with hazards off. So I think it should be legal because this layout is not too bad, other than that little slope, which isn't too much of an issue. So it's okay. Arena Ferox, I don't know how you say that. Basically, because it transforms, but the transformations aren't there in Hazards Off, instead of just transforming it, it starts with one. It starts with. It chooses one layout at random, and then sticks with it the entire match in Hazards Off. And some of those layouts can be pretty funky, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Coliseum is too big and it's walk-offs and it's bad. Flat Zone X. Yes, this is bad. Do not play on the stage in a tournament. Skyworld. No, because it has Caves of Life, and with Hazards Off, these platforms can't be destroyed at all, so it's been unfortunate, but it's banned. Reset Bomb Forest. Now, this one would be okay because the layout's, fairly decent, but the thing is there's this pit in the center and it's pretty easy to fall down it, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Palutena's Temple is too big. WarioWare Inc. is an interesting case. It's actually fine layout-wise, but the blast zones are really close to the stage, and that's usually the reason it's banned, but I think it should be legal, or at least like a counter pick. Definitely not a starter, but at least a counter pick. And here's why. I think it really favors rushdown characters. And that's, counter picks, you pick them because you want to have an advantage with your character. And because WarioWare Inc. favors rushdown characters who can very quickly KO opponents from the sides, I think it should be legal, but as a counter pick. Gamer. No, this should be banned. It's too big and has variable layouts. Distant Planet, it has a walk-off, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Garden of Hope is too big, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Smashville, obviously legal. And Tortimer Island, water and too big, flat, and it's just a problem in more ways than one, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Town and City is legal, so there's nothing to say about that. Wii Fit Studio has walk-offs, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Boxing Ring, walk-offs, duh. Gangplank, it's too big. See, it's huge. It's really big, so it's banned. Duck Hunt, banned, because this tree here is very hard to get to as a little Mac. So I'd say it's overly advantageous to characters with good jumps. So I'm gonna say it's banned. Shadow Moses Island is definitely not legal and shouldn't be because it has walk-offs and walls. So I don't know if these walls, I think these walls can't even break with hazards off, so that's a problem. Green Hill Zone, very weird layout, and also it has a walk-off. Multiple walk-offs, so it walks off on both sides, so it's banned. Windy Hill Zone, gravity, weird gravity, so yeah. Wily Castle, I mean, it's basically just Final Destination but larger. So, with hazards off. So I think I think it should be. It should be legal. Oh, Pac-Land. Pac-Land, definitely not. Now, I actually like the Galleon medley. It's like one of the best new remixes from Smash Ultimate, but I never hear it in-game at all because I never play in Pac-Land. So it's a bit unfortunate, but that's a little off the topic, so it's banned. Suzaku Castle. No, it has a walk-off. And very big pit and small platforms on this side, so it's banned. Midgar, it's too much like Final Destination, or Battlefield, not Final Destination, it's too much like Battlefield, so it's banned. Umbra Clock Tower, there we go. It's essentially a flat stage, but with a little bit of, you know, a dip there where the clock is. Now, the reason it's banned is because of distracting background details, but like I said with, I think it was, what was it? It was Idrisil's Altar, so also had a distracting background. But Umbra Clock Tower has a similar distracting background, but, you know, a slightly greater extent, but I think Final Destination from like Melee and Smash 4 had a much more distracting background. It was like super blinding, and it was always legal. So there's a bit of hypocrisy there. So I think Umbra Clock Tower should be legal. I don't think there's really anything else that holds it back from being so, because I don't think the platforms appear with hazards off. Hand and bow, no. Picto Chat 2. I mean, it's basically just Final Destination with slightly slanted platforms. So I actually think it's fine, and we could actually. I have Megalovania appear as one of the main songs on Picto Chat 2 because it kind of resembles an Undertale battle. So if tournaments wanted to do the same thing, they can have Megalovania play in tournaments, and that would be pretty awesome. Balloon fight. No. Walk-offs, loops around. This fish here, which I don't think appears in Hazards Off, but it has a pit, and it's just a problem. Living room. No, it has walk-offs. I think these blocks still appear with Hazards Off, so a bit unfortunate. I don't know why they did that, but it's a problem, so it's banned. Find me, big pits. Basically, it's two platforms, and that's a bit of a problem, so I'm gonna say it's banned. Tomodachi Life is a lot like Luigi's Mansion. I'd say it's kind of like the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion. So there's a lot of circle camping that you can do, but it doesn't have the Caves of Life, fortunately, but it's still very vertical, and the top platform is very close to the top, so it's banned, of course. Wrecking Crew is just like Tomodachi Life and Luigi's Mansion, except that it constantly changes layouts. I don't know if it does that in Hazards Off, but it's still a problem. Pilot Wings, now, I don't know if they changed planes, but the wall here is still a problem, so I'm going to say it's banned. Coming back to the last one here is Woohoo Island. Now, Woohoo Island should actually be legal. Not for memes, not, you know, not ironically, it actually should be legal. Because I see nothing wrong with it as sharking, but the layout is fine. It's a perfectly fine stage, but for some reason sharking is not considered tournament viable. I mean, it's not that difficult to deal with, so you could just jump. So it's not really an issue, jump or shield, so sharking is not really a big issue, and plus it's immensely risky for the other player, so I don't think sharking is as big of a deal as tournament organizers say it is. So that's all the stages. How I think they should be tournament legal or not. Well, thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like to, and I'll see you in another video. Peace.